Hello, my lovely friends. Hello, Flosstube. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Who have we got? Who have we got? Hello, hello, hello. Can everyone hear me okay? I just want to make sure that the sound's okay and that the music's not too loud. Let's have a little look. Who have we got? Wow, so many of you. Hi from Lincolnshire or Lincoln. We've got Tina, Bethany, Sewing with Suzanne, Gillian. Hi Sandy, my lovely. Welcome to the stream. Silver Stitches, Rosa, Leah, Renata, Zoe from Coco Creates. All good. Fabulous. Hello from New Jersey. Hi Roberta. Hi Deborah. Wow, look at you all. Look at you all. We've got Emily from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, back for a second live after an awesome time last week. Well, this was like the total impromptu. I have such a story to tell you all because, yeah, I can't even begin to tell you how this has transpired. Hi Claire. Hi Jean. Welcome to the stream. Hey, we've got a new follower, people. Look at that. We've even got a little thing that comes up. Do you like that? I'll do it this way, shall I? Hi, Lou in Cumbria. Hello in Alberta, Canada. Michelle, hi, my lovely. You don't need to say it's Zoe's mum. I think I know who Michelle Robinson is. Energy Lady, hello from West Midlands. Hi, hi, hi. Be Crafty. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Carla. Well, what to tell you all? Yeah. So, do you want to hear the story about how comes we're having a very impromptu Flosstube update? So, no stitching. I'm not actually going to stitch a thing today. That's your job. You're doing the stitching. And we're going to pretend that this is a true Flosstube. Hey, Morty, my lovely. Oh my God. Morty is in Tenerife. I hope you are, you know, we're not disturbing your basking in the sun or any you know, activities that you should be doing. Hi, Donna Marie. Of course, there's a story. Yes, there is. Love the Saturday lives. I'm always working on Sundays when the other lives are going. Hello, hello. Hi, Kerry, sweetheart. Morty says, having a fab time, but just about to. Oh, right. Okay. Are you just about to go out, Morty? Is that what's about to happen? Going into a drag show. Wow. Wow. Honey Bunny Stitchery. Hello. Love the live streams. Yay. Claire says, yes, I have my tea at the ready. Mad Morty and Brom, I hope you have a fabulous time in Tenerife. Yeah, enjoy your drag show. We want pictures. Send pictures. There you go. Okay, so let me just roll back and give you an example of exactly how hard sometimes Flosstube can be. So my plan was to get my Flosstube update for August done at some point last week. Needless to say, life got in the way. Oh my, hang on a minute. Karen the Needlebug, I'm live too and trying to add you to my stream. I'm not sure you can add me to your stream. Can you add me to your stream? I'm not sure that will work unless I've actually allowed for it. This could get interesting, people. It could get interesting. Who knows what could happen at this point in time. Cooking with friends, but loving you all and enjoying your stitching. Thank you. Okay, so back to the story. Let me explain the story. So the plan was to get a video recorded, edited, and sort of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of September. That was the original plan. Hey, Charlotte, my lovely. That was the plan. I do love it when plans don't go according to plan, of course. So it got to the point that it got to Friday or Thursday night, and I was working from home on Friday. So I was like, you know what? It's fine, Teresa. Just record. Oh, there's an error. YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Am I buffering? Am I buffering? I do hope not. All right, I'm going to ignore that message and you can tell me if you have a problem. So that was the original plan. So on Thursday night, I done my notes because I always have to have my handy dandy notes. I done the notes, so I was ready for Friday morning. And then I realised that my next door neighbours, because I'm what's known as a semi-detached here in the UK, so I'm attached on this wall behind us, I completely forgot that my next door neighbour is on nights. Oh no, everyone's saying I'm buffering. Yes, you did. You're buffering. Yeah, a bit of buffering. Fine now. Okay, as long as we're fine now. I don't know whether I should open this. I don't know why it's telling me I've got an error. Okay, I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, there goes the neighbour's dogs. We're getting it all today. Okay, so basically the plan was to do the video on Friday morning with the aim that Friday lunchtime and Friday evening I would edit it, so I would have it uploaded for you for today. That was the plan. So Friday morning comes. Unfortunately, it wasn't going so well because the next door neighbour was sleeping. So I was like, well, I can't exactly start recording and going, hi everyone, and being really loud in this room at sort of 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, okay, well, I won't do it this morning. I'll see if I can do it at lunchtime. Lunchtime came and went. It just wasn't going to happen. So hold up. I can't, but I think I am bot. I might be the reason you are buggering. Thanks, Karen. Karen's the reason we all buffered. Okay, so yeah, I think we're all good now. So basically, the plan was that was what was going to happen. It didn't happen. Lunchtime skipped and went, and then it got to the end of the day, and I'm like, fine, okay, then I will do the recording now. So I basically said to hubby, right, you go off to the gym, and whilst you go off to the gym, I'll record my video. Well, do you know what? What's my luck? The first time that I recorded the video in a long time, and it was full of energy. I was all bouncy. I had so much to tell you, and everything was flowing. Everything was happening the way it was supposed to. I recorded the video, and I'm like, yes, get in there. All done. One take, not a gazillion takes, which is what it normally takes, but you don't see that bit. And then I thought, do you know what? I'm really not feeling like editing it on a Friday night. So I was like, I'll edit it today and then get it uploaded today for you. Well, I went off for dancing lessons this morning, come back, sat my butt down on this seat, started doing the editing, add loads of like flashy bits and, you know, bits and pieces, and then realised that actually I'd messed it up because as part of the recording, I didn't just record the voice on the microphone. It somehow recorded the overhead camera. So it was like in stereo version of Teresa. That's way too much. But because it done it as one audio file, there was no way to separate it. And it was absolutely ruined. So I was like, oh no, what am I going to do now? And I'm like, you know, you just can't bring yourself to come to the party with all the energy about all the things. And I'm like, I really can't bring myself to re-record it. And I'm like, if I don't get this video up today, it won't happen for August. So I thought to myself, do you know what? The only way that I'm going to be able to do this and bring it all to the party was if I do it live, then you get to see everything. I get to have a little chat with all of you. And then what I will do is I will edit down this recording. In fact, I don't even think I've hit record yet. So what I'm going to need to do, so this is how much fun this is going to be. So it's a live stream, but what I'm going to do is when I flick the camera over and start showing you all the things, I'm going to do a little intro as if I'm doing a Flosstube video. So you'll get you'll get a new view of how this actually all goes when I compose myself. I will do my usual intro into YouTube and record this live, and then the idea is that theoretically I'll be able to take chunks out of it where we sort of do a tete-a-tete and our chatting. I won't have the chat on the screen, so the chat will be in your normal chat feed, so that way when I post it up as a video, yes, I'm going to tell everyone that I'm doing it as a live stream and it's being edited, but it will sort of look like a normal recorded video, because There's a lot of people that really don't like the lives, or if you're not on the live at the time, it's not as much fun. So that's the story. And that's the reason why the impromptu video is here. But that's not to say that there isn't a Stitch with me tomorrow night, because tomorrow night is the standard, everyday, usual live stream, Teresa, stitching, chatting, and I actually get some stuff done, because the plan was to get some stitching done today, and there's a big fat zero. I haven't managed to do anything today other than sort this live out, pull all the stuff back out that I'd put away from yesterday, thinking it was done, go to the hairdressers and get one's barnet done, go to a dancing lesson and do my dancing. Yeah, so this is all new and fresh. This is going to be, this is like a behind the scenes, like you say. Who is it that said behind the scenes? Helen's busy hands, behind the scenes. Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to get. So you'll get to see the behind the scenes. Charlotte says, so how long are you planning on live streaming? Well, if it's anything like the takes that it is for my videos, this could be quite long, because I do tend to faff around even on the videos. They still take ages, but I reckon we are looking at about, I don't know, let's say about an hour and a half, depending on how much chatting we do in between all of this. How's that sound? It might be an hour, it might be an hour and a half. I don't want it to go to 2 hours, because we're going to do a live tomorrow. Your headache, our gain, Tina. You've got no idea. I've took paracetamol because I did have a headache, and I had to go and lay down this afternoon because I was so distraught by the fact that it was all not going to plan. 2 Teresas in a weekend. Great. Sandy, you are love. Great solution. Lucky us. Hello, and this sounds like it will be interesting behind the scenes. Me neither, Teresa. Housework got in the way. Housework is my chore for tomorrow. Hence the reason why I'm like, I need to get all my housework done tomorrow. Because, yeah, I'll talk about sort of as part of the Flosstube update, I'll talk about sort of what's coming up. But I've got a ridiculously busy September, which, again, was not the original plan. So, yeah, 2 nights and also next weekend. Well, that's one of the reasons. One of the reasons this has to happen, this Flosstube update had to happen today, was because there's just no time. There's going to be no time in September. And by the time I get to sort of the middle of September, sort of towards the end of September, it's sort of like it's, you know, the horse has bolted at that point. There's no point in doing it. Pauline says, no worries, I'm around listening. Hi, I'm a bit late today, coming straight from Tim Holt's live stream. Ooh, I'm in Christmas mode now. Oh, let's not talk about Christmas yet. Although I have got something to show you, which will make you realise why I'm like, ugh, not Christmas. Does that mean no drinking tonight? I don't know. I don't know whether hubby's out there watching the football. So I don't know whether the hubby will turn up with some alcoholic beverage. Maybe post me actually doing the YouTubey bit. Because then it won't matter, because then I'm just with you guys and it's just like a handy-dandy party, right? Sorry, have to go. Take care of hubby. He had surgery last Wednesday. Renata, all the very best. I hope he recovers lovely. The best laid plans, you need an extra few hours in the day. I do. I've been quite reflective recently, because I'm like, how on earth do you fit all of the stuff into a busy life? Because I'm failing miserable. You know, when you're sort of sitting there supposed to be ticking boxes, I've got big crosses all over mine, because I'm like, there's just no making everything fit. It's impossible. Okay, Claire says, got my stitching and hubby is out, so here for the long haul. Cheers from Seattle. I'm just having coffee and doing a spot of work. This will be much nicer with you alongside. Oh, that's lovely. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flick the camera over, because this is like a live stream screen. We're going to flick it over as if it's a normal Flosstube. I'm going to do my normal usual intro, and then we can get into the nitty gritty a bit. And what I'll do is, as part of the editing, I'm going to try and edit. If we get too waylaid into conversation, I'll try and edit some of that out for the people that want to watch this as a video. But I'll probably won't be able to edit it all out, because the whole point of this is actually, you know, I'm going to show you things and you can ask me questions, and because I can actually look at the chat for once in my life and not miss everything. Belushi Stitcher, editing my floss tube takes longer than filming. You are not wrong there. It does. Okay, right. So are we all ready for this? Are we all ready for a live floss tube update for August? Now, what I'm going to do, this is unusual because I normally have some stuff over on this screen where I watch what's happening on the chat. So I'm gonna need to hope that everything's going well. So if all of a sudden something starts to go wrong, you need to tell me, because I'm not looking at the screen where it would tell me if something's going wrong. Okay. So let me pull up my notes, because as usual, I have a brain the size of a pea. Okay, let's do this, people. Let's see if we can make this work. So let's see, what screen do I want? Screen, you, right, this one. There we go. Look at that. We're at Flosstube. Right, okay. I'm going to do my intro now, so you're going to see the behind the scenes, okay? And don't all make me laugh. If all of a sudden I see all this stuff in the chat, I'll end up laughing. And breathe. Hello, my lovely Flosstube friends. Welcome back to the channel. A very warm welcomes to you all. Believe it or not, this is a live stream that's being edited down because it's just how we're rolling this month. Welcome back to all my returning subscribers. A huge welcome to the 53 new subscribers to the channel. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. And if you haven't subscribed already and you get to the end of this video and you like what you see, please don't forget to give me a little thumbs up. Hit the notification bell and don't forget that you'll get notified. No, that didn't work, did it? We're going to have to edit that. We're going to do it again. See what I mean? This is how bad it is. Real time. Real time. This intro normally takes me at least 3 goes to get it right, because I get all my words in the wrong place. Not sure what stitching or crochet I'll be doing. I'll just be watching, otherwise I might miss something. Trust me, you're not going to miss anything, not at this rate, because we're going to keep doing retakes. Okay, let me try that again, because all this can get edited out. This is what I like about actually recording rather than live, because live, you got to get it right. We need the script so we can be your teleprompt. You're not wrong there. Okay, let's try this again. Get it right, Teresa. Hello, my lovely Flosstube friends. Welcome back to the channel. A very warm welcomes to you all. This is a slightly different recording of the video because actually I'm currently live, but I'm editing the video down so that for those of you that don't like the lives, you still get to see the monthly update. So thank you for returning, for my lovely returning subscribers. A very warm welcomes to the 53 new subscribers to the channel. If you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed already, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get notified of really, the husband just walked through the door. What do you want? Your iPad is not in my room. Go away. See? Take 2. Quick, someone make a laugh. Okay, this is 3rd time a charm, right? It's got to be. Tell you why I've been unable to save up on Larry Stand. Oh, right, take 3. Let's do this again, shall we? See, now you see how hard it is to do these things. The intros, I think, and the exiting of a video is actually harder than the bit in the middle, because the bit in the middle you can just ramble your way through, worst case scenario. But the intro needs to sort of be right. 3 times the charm, you got this. Let's try it again, shall we? I was nearly there. If hubby hadn't come in and distracted my train of thought. We'll message Lolly to come disturb you next time, ready for round 4. No, don't do that. Okay, we're going to go one more time. And if it doesn't go well, then I'm just going to scrap the intro. How's that? Right. Hello, my lovely Flosstube friends. Welcome back to the channel. A very warm welcome to you all. I am here for my August update, although this is a slightly different version of recording because actually this is a live stream that is going to be edited down into a recorded video for those that don't like the lives or couldn't make the live. So Slightly different format for this time round, but I would love to always welcome my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for coming back. And a very warm welcomes to the 53 new subscribers to the channel. Thank you for hitting subscribe. If you are sitting here looking at this video and you haven't subscribed already, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give me a little thumbs up to know that you like it. And don't forget to hit the notifications bell. And then that way you will always be notified of any new content that I load on this channel. And breathe. Welcome to the Stitching live update, although for anyone that's watching this is actually a recorded version. There we go. Everyone else that's live now, we've done the intro. Oh my God, did it really take 3 shots even on a live stream? Now I can read some comments now that I can get over that. You make me laugh so hard. I love watching. I'm glad you love watching because there's only so many times I can repeat the same thing without going, no, 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 no. See, it's there. We did it. We did it. Yay! Right. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you exactly what we're here to see. So what have I got to talk about today other than to talk to you? Gillian says, oh, T, this is so fun. So what have we got to talk about today? So today I have got whips update. I've got a surprise FFO. Yay! Go me at last, finally. Talk about the live streams because obviously live streams seem to be back and rocking and rolling, which is always fabulous. We've got some gorgeous random act of kindness from both Jasmine and also a retreat friend, which I want to share. We've got an incy-bincy bit of haul. We've got a bit of news about September and, you know, what's going to happen in September. But before we get to any of that, the one thing that I do need to talk about is I did a giveaway and I posted a giveaway winners recording on the channel for those that had won prizes. I am still waiting for 3 people to come back to me so that they can claim their gifts. So we have got, what have we got? We have got the winner of the Cricket Collection Autumn. I'm going to share, let me share. What do I need to share? Do I need this one? No, I need this one. There we go. So we've got this one, which is the Cricket Collection Autumn. And this was Dawn Tom CZYK8267. I've still not heard from you with regards to this one. I'm going to give it until the 16th. So we're going to give it until the 16th of September. If I haven't heard from you by then I will do a redraw. So I'll go back into the existing video and I'll redo the generator all over again and we'll give someone else an opportunity, but I will give them until the 16th to come back to me on that one. So there's that one. There is also the winner of the spring, which is this one, and this one was Annette Duggan number 7. So Annette Duggan, if you reach out to me then I'll get this in the post, but you've only got until the 16th of September to do so, or I will do a redraw on that one. And then finally, the last one is the autumn. I really like this one. The more I look at this, the more I think, actually, I don't mind this one. So this one's got the pumpkins on it. It's the autumn one. And this was Nanette McDougall Dykes 9339. So if you haven't already, reach out to me and I will get those in the post. If I don't hear from those 3 people by the 16th of September, I will be doing a redraw. So that is that bit. Paper, pencil and bird. I can never stitch and watch Teresa. Can we make live recordings of Flosstube a thing? I need to see how this is going to edit down yet. It could get really quite messy. Really quite messy. Okay, can I just double check? Is there any music in the background that you can hear? Let me see who answers me. Or is it completely quiet and silent? Has my chat stopped? Are you not chatting? Oh, there we go. Nope. Nope. Perfect. Okay. Just wanted to be sure because, yeah, no one needs to be listening to music when I'm not stitching. Can't hear music. Fabulous. Wonderful. Okay. Right. So, shall we get to the best bit? Let's do the whips. Shall we? Whips. So, whip update. Not massive amount, but then there's nothing new there. So, where to start? Where do you want to start? Should we start with the FFO first or shall I do the whips? Let's do the FO first because that's the exciting bit. That's the exciting bit. So for those of you that know, I was stitching on, let me see if I can show it to you. Hold on. Channel, stitch, charts. See, this is the editing bit. Okay, so let me put this up here and share my screen with you. So I was stitching on this. This is the Shepherd's Bush Gather Moments. And the last time you saw it, I think it was sort of close to a finish, but it wasn't finished. Anyone that's on the live would have had a sneaky peek at this last week because I did actually have it done last week. So let me share with you my finish. Which one's the overhead? This one. There we go. So would you look at that? So this is my Gather Moments. I am so chuffed with it. It came as a kit from Chris at the Nimble Thimble. So it came with all the threads. It came with the fabric. It came with the box. It came with some wadding and it came with some backing board. I'll put links to everywhere where I get all of this in the description box below so that you can go and have a look if you're interested. There is a companion piece for this. It's a Christmas one. And now that I've finished this one, because this is my first official prim finish. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this. And now that I've done it and completed it, I'm like, I love it so much. And it's got like little buttons on it. So it's got all of the bits and pieces. I did run out of some of the thread. So I think I put like a call out on one of the videos. Where I said that colour, this colour here that's on the side, I can't remember what it was. I think it was, oh, I don't know. Someone in the chat probably remembers what it is. It was a colour that when I tried to Google it to see if I could just go and find a skein of it myself, I couldn't get my hands on it. But I literally reached out to Chris at Nimble Thimble. She answered me within a couple of hours. I explained the situation. She was like, not a problem, Teresa. Shepherd's Bush will send you like a length of it so that you can finish it. I kid you not. Bearing in mind that this came all the way from the USA, I must have had that thread in less than a week. And it was only like a tiny portion. It was like about this big. It was like that much of it. That was all I needed to get it finished. And they sent it in the post to me. So love, love, love. And it's taking pride of place in my living room. I'm just trying to stop hubby and the kids and those sorts of people from trying to use it as somewhere to put stuff, because they do have a habit of like, oh look, it's a tray or it's a bowl or it's a let's fill it up. Someone did come up with a really good idea of getting some plastic, like hard plastic, and putting it over the top so it protects the stitching, so that way it was all protected, and if anyone did actually use it as a tray, that nothing would be disturbed. But I'm like, well, I didn't do all this stitching for people to put things on top of it. That was not the idea. So because of that, I'm just basically not going to put anything over it and tell everyone that they are not allowed. They are not allowed. I'm refusing anyone to actually use it for a purpose other than the fact that it looks good. It's very cute. I love the sheep. I know, it's so cute. Look, I don't know if there we go. Look how cute that is. It is lovely. So this one was, let's have a little look. So this one was stitched on a 32 count Belfast linen in the colourway natural. Like I say, the kit come from the Nimble Thimble. I started this on the 27th of June 2024 and finished it on the 13th of August. And it was FFO'd on the 14th of August, and it got 4 days of stitching in August. That includes all of the finishing that I did on that. So love my finish. You know when you're like, finally a finish. That was all I needed in my life. Chrissy's fab. Yeah, I made it. Wow, that's amazing. Could you put it on its side and then put it on a shelf so no one uses it and you can see it at all times? That's a really good idea, Charlotte. I hadn't thought about that. I'm not sure how it would look if it's sort of perched on its side though. What do we think? We could do that, I suppose. I just quite like it like that. But that would work. That would work. So many of you are telling me to put it on its side, so it's obviously a thing. It probably would help. But lush, love that. Love that. So that is my finish for August, which is well awaited. Whips. Now, most of you that were on live streams will be aware of what I've stitched on, because most of what I've stitched on has been whilst we've been live. We have a dog coming in, don't worry. So next up we have the lovely Bella Filipina Magwayan. I done this on a live stream. So here she is. This is what she will look like when she's finished. This is the Teresa made me do it, or part of the Teresa made me do it, Sal. And I haven't got a picture of where you last saw it, but here is where I got to. Now, I did stitch a bit more on this after we finished on the live stream. So I think I thought I'd kitted this up. I thought I had it completely kitted up. So when I sat down to do the live stream, I was under the impression that all the threads were there. And then literally as I went live and I was looking for everything, I realised that actually I was missing some threads. So there was one specialty thread, which I think was a Karen water lily thread, I think it was. And one DMC colour, which was like a Christmas red. So I didn't have that. So I basically done some filling in around this area on the live. And then the threads turned up that I ordered, because once I realised the mistake, I went in and started doing, well, you can see there's only half stitches there where I went in a row, and I filled in all of the red. Then whilst I was sitting there stitching on it, I put in some of the, I think it's a petite treasure braid. This stuff, I've got to be honest with you, is hideous. Where's my bag? So I done the live stream on the Saturday night, and I think on the Sunday night was when I sat and done some stitching. And I have to say, people, this thread was horrid. I've never stitched with the DMC, what was it? DMC satin thread before. That was my first experience of it, and I have to be honest, I'm in no rush to do it again. I've got it in a different colour here because I think I've left the green one in the other room. But let me give you an example. So have any of you actually stitched using this DMC satin thread? The satin is vile. It is, you're not wrong there. I can vouch for that. So this is what it looks like. And it's sort of like, see how it's sort of already doing some funky thing there. Like if I give that a little tug, get the end out. I don't want to tug it too much because it's already starting to get into a hot mess here, and that's while it's still raveled up. You see how it's sort of going a bit weird and a bit kinky and a bit strange. That's sort of what it's like when you try and stitch with this. It's not very nice, I'll be honest with you. I've heard a lot of complaints about the satin. Yeah, it's not your nicest friend. It does sort of this, which makes it a bit tricky to play with. However, I was on Nicole's live stream, just listening and stitching while I was doing this, and they gave me some tips because it's like, yeah, you can see what I mean. It's not the most nicest thing to use. So the advice I got was run it through some beeswax, which I did try. And I'll be honest, it didn't really help very much. But what I did was, instead of cutting 2 strands, threading the needle and trying to work with 2 separate strands like this, because they kept doing this and they kept sort of sliding past each other, what I did was I took a longer strand, like, so I sort of went like much longer, folded it in half as if I was doing like 2 strands, like a loop start, but I put my needle in the loop. So I put my needle in the loop so that the 2 open ends were the hanging bits. They were the bits that I anchored, sort of in amongst this bit. And then I found that by having it so that the needle was in the middle of the threads, that like in that shape, it allowed for you to sort of keep the 2 strands together rather than having them going everywhere. Now, you probably can't see because I don't think I've got the camera close enough. I haven't. But these ones here, I did a single strand, which is not going very well at all. Once I got onto this bit and this bit, I'd pulled another length, and that was where I folded it in half, and it was so much more manageable. And it allowed for me to sort of like hold the threads at the same time as pulling it through, so that way at least sort of they laid a little bit nicer. Once I did that, it was actually a lot easier to work with. So I've made a start. I'm not a lover, like I say, of the DMC satin thread. I'll persevere with it because, I mean, it does. I mean, look at the shine on it. It's gorgeous. Claire says, yes, it's horrible. Have you tried using beeswax to give it some traction? Yeah, I tried that. It didn't make it any easier for me to work with. Would a laying tool help? Stitching down the rabbit hole, it would. But it's not about getting it to lay. It's just getting the 2 strands not to be so slippery and slip past each other as well. So yeah, it was not my finest moment, I'll be honest. But I have sort of found a way around it now. So that is my way around it. So now, from now on, whenever I use this, I will pull a slightly longer length. I would say this stuff is a bit like working with the Chronic or the Petite Treasure braid, where you wouldn't necessarily go with a really, really long strand of this, because I don't think it'd hold up very well. So I would go with the medium length, but I would do the double up, where I'd pull it in half. I put my needle in the middle where it folds over on itself, because at least that way, once you pull the needle, both strands go straight and taut. So that way, at least you know that they're not slipping past each other. Because yeah, they were bunching up. It wasn't laying nicely. I couldn't get the 2 strands to stay together. But once I did that, it made all the difference. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should do like a bit of an example. So next time I'm actually stitching on my lovely Magwayan, and I'm gonna have to use this very gorgeously shiny but horrible to use thread. If I do like an example of what I did on a video, then it may help some people, because as soon as I did that, it made all the difference. I bet there were some interesting words being said when you were working with it, Teresa. There was. I was like, wow, this is horrid. Hi, Nicole. I didn't realise you was in the stream, my lovely. So Nicole Simply a Stitcher is the lady whose live stream I was on at the time. Oh my God, I love the pink colour, though it's a pain to work with, but it looks so beautiful. It does. Hold on, people. I need to tell my family to shut the door. I'm sorry about that. This is real life, people. Do you know what? This is what it's like whenever I try and do a floss tube video. This is one of the reasons why I love it when my husband goes out and when, you know, the kids are busy in themselves, because it's quiet. I can leave the door open, I can chat to you, and you don't get to hear them in the background. They don't realise that my microphone picks up everything. Like everything. I like the reverse loop. It's It's a tactic I used as a beginner. I'll also recommend it for DMC, other horrible threads. Yes, because this, it looks lovely. And when it's stitched and it's stitched right, it looks divine. But to actually work with it, it is never going to be your best friend. I think once you find a way to work with it that's like to make it a bit more manageable, I think it's totally different. But yeah, so that was my little show and tell with the thread. But I think I did quite well to get to where I've got to. And considering that I didn't really think that I wanted to stitch, I said I didn't know that I wanted to stitch the ship on this design. I sort of said the Magwayan lady. So where's the Magwayan lady? So here she is. I quite liked her, but at the time I was like, I'm not sure about the ship because I'm not normally a ship type person. But once I saw these colours, once I saw this, I was like, wow, love that. Love that. So yeah, so I'm quite pleased that I accidentally started on the ship and then thought, well, I've already started it now, so I might as well just carry on. So I'm loving the ship. Anne says, I couldn't hear your family. Thank God for that, because they were having a full-on discussion just outside the door there, to the point that it was distracting me. It doesn't take a lot. So Magwayan, let me flick you back over. So Magwayan, Bella Filipina, it's stitched on a 28 count even weave Lugana, hand dyed by me. I started this on the 1st of the 1st 2023, and this got a whole whopping, drum roll please, 1 day of stitching in August. Magwayan is more colourful than I thought she was. Yes, she is. It's very, very vibrant colours. Absolutely love her. I like your needle minder. I have a similar one. Yes. What are these? Oh, I can't remember for the life of me. Agnes Needle Minders, that's the one. Agnes Needle Minders, these are. I love these. Nicole says, yes, I'm here, but having a few tech issues, dipping in and out. My connection having moment tonight. That's okay, because that was like me. Charlotte, no, this one isn't a clay by Kim. This one's an Agnes Needle Minder. So this is like the, I think, UK equivalent. So love, love, love. Love, love, love. So that was Magwayan. So like I say, that got a whole whopping 1 day's worth of stitching, which is not a lot. Right, I'm going to put my thread away because otherwise I'll lose it. So that was another whip that actually got some love. And then she says, stick that down there. What else did we stitch on? We also stitched on my lovely Afghan. So this has been sort of like a piece that I've been using more for the live streams. Here it is. Actually, let me do it on the overhead. It's easier. So this is the Wichel Family Farm Afghan. That's what it will look like when it's finished. If it ever gets finished. Like I say, this one has been the one that's been getting all of the love on the live streams. It's really, really great to have it on the live streams because it's so big. So before I show you the actual progress, let me show you. So a lot of people were wondering how I'm managing to cope with this. So I wanted to show it. So what I do is I roll it up like a giant sausage, like this. And then I'm using these, whatever these are. I got these off of Amazon. I'll put a link to them. And I'm using those to sort of keep the bottom up. I have that, which I put on the side. And then it sits on the stand like that. So that way it's not bellowing all over me and it's not all over the place. So now that I've found a way of actually using the material to my advantage and using what I have to sort of make it a little bit easier to manage, because that is a whole lot of fabric. I mean, it is like a blanket, and it has been summer. So in summer, you don't want a massive, great big load of fabric laying all over your legs. And because I can't stitch in hand, I have to use a Q-snap. I need to have my hands to be able to get up and down, which when you've got all this, it makes it much more tricky. But now I've found a way, she says. So where have we got to? Where have we got to? This is where I've got to. So I already had this block done. I've got the block underneath done, which is all folded up here. And then this is the block that we've been stitching on as part of the live streams. I don't think I've done anything more than when I last did a live stream. Gillian says she loves this one. Thank you, Gillian. I have the Harvest View Afghan. I need to make that my winter project. Yeah. I spent over 30 minutes edging it on the sewing machine. I'm not even worrying about where I get to if it ever gets finished. I'm rather hoping someone might bail me out on that. I do have a good friend that's like a quilter, and I'm thinking that it's going to need some sort of backing on it to hide these stitches, hide the backing and protect the stitching. I don't know whether I want to turn it into a wall hanging like what it is here. I mean, they've done it like a blanket with like a fringed edging. But when I saw it at the Nimble Thimble, they'd actually quilted it and they'd put like a quilt band around all the way around it. So I'm still undecided, but trust me, it's going to take me so long to stitch this. By the time I get to the end of it, I'm rather hoping that I'll have an idea of how I want to finish it by then. When you consider finishing again, think about using the tied quilt type of attaching backing. I'll have to have a little look into that. I don't know what it is. Charlotte says she can have mine too. Think mine will be a wall hanging. Yeah, I'm sort of undecided. Still undecided. I think sort of... Gillian said, oh, a quilt. A quilt will look lovely. It will look fantastic. The only trouble with a quilt is, would you actually use it as a quilt? Because it is sort of like you're stitching... I mean, it would have to go in the wash a lot if it was a quilt. That's how I sort of see it. But we've made a good set of progress on this block here. So on the picture, I'm trying to think where we are on the picture. Where are we? So on the picture, I think we're about there. So I think this block might actually have some birdies or something, whatever that is in this picture. I think that's in this block, possibly. I might be mistaken, but I'm not unhappy with how that's come out. So Family Farm. So this material with its huge great holes, look at that, it's fabulous, isn't it? Is a 14 count fireside fabric stitched using 4 strands of DMC. It was started on the 17th of September 2023, and it's had 4 days worth of stitching in August. So love, love, love. I could look at your stitching all the time on this. They are so gorgeous and even. Thank you so much. This project has had me looking for all the Afghans to stitch. Do you know what? I've never ever considered an Afghan before. Never have I considered an Afghan before. And then all of a sudden, when I saw this in the flesh, hanging up in a shop, I was like, I have to have myself some of that. It's okay, the dog's messing around now. But absolutely love. Absolutely love. But it is, yeah, it's big. And there's a lot of it. So the whole raveling it up is a thing. But yeah, love. And even though we're not even in winter, I'm still sort of really drawn to it. So the fact that I'm still very drawn to it that's a good thing. That is such a good thing. And it's fabulous for doing live streams, I have to say, because it's not so testing on the eyes. In the evenings, it's great because there's like, you know, it's big holes and it's a lot of blocky stitching. I can just sit there with it on my lap or on a frame, do a few lengths and feel like I've actually achieved something in the evening without sort of thinking, oh, my eyes just physically can't see it anymore. B Crafty said, I need to finish my gnomes and my Afghan too. Those clouds look great. They do. Silver Stitch says, I think I would be told off if I got one of them. Zoe says, I have the Christmas Afghan. I'm thinking of doing it over one, though, to make a smaller wall hanging because I wouldn't use a quilt. Too worried the cats would scratch it. Thankfully, I don't have cats, but I do have dogs. The dogs don't scratch things, but If they saw this laying on the sofa, I've got a sneaky suspicion that they would most definitely think it's a blankie for them to lay on. Right, I'm running out of room where to put things, so let me put this down here. Oh, put that down there, out the way. So that was where I got to with that. And then the final project that I actually worked on that is a whip, she says, is the lovely evening in the park. And whilst Mary was here, and it was mentioned on the live stream a number of times, Teresa, you're not doing enough on the evening in the park. It's never going to get finished if you don't stitch on it. Mary forced me. I got forced to work on evening in the park. And I don't think I did too bad at all. I don't think I did too bad at all, people. Look at that. So where was we? So I think I'm trying to remember where it was the last time you saw it, but I've definitely done a lot more this time. So let me put it on the overhead if I can squeeze it on the table here. So evening in the park, for those that haven't heard this like a gazillion times, because this project has been going on for way longer than it should have done. Evening in the park is being stitched on a 25 count even weave in the colourway Abyss, which I believe has been discontinued from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. What else to tell you? Oh yeah, the really embarrassing bit. This was started, would you believe this? This was started on the 28th of December 2016. 8 years ago. This has took me 8 years and we're still not finished. Oh, Evening in the Park. I love this one. You've done great. Love Evening in the Park. Oh my God, I love the colour of that fabric. It's absolutely beautiful. Evening in the Park is my favourite. Has to be my favourite project. So gorgeous. See, you all go a bit crazy about Evening in the Park, and this is the one project that you would think I am crazy about. I am crazy about it, but because I have to be so careful so as not to get anything wrong on it, I have to be very specific about when I actually stitch on it because I can't afford to make a mistake. So where was we last time? So I think last time you saw this, I had that one done. I think I had either most of that done or all of that done. Since then, I've put some more snow in this bit. Some more snow in this bit. I've done another lantern here. And all barring this little bit here, I have filled in all of one colour of the gates. So, Chatelaine is something to add to my list. Not got one yet. Yeah, it's definitely that they are beautiful to stitch on. All of the lovely threads that you get with these is is such an experience. The specialty stitches, I love doing the specialty stitches. It's just the sheer size of it. And I think with Evening in the Park, because it is the type of project that is equal on all sides, basically it's a repeat. By the time you've repeated it twice, it's like, wow, I'm done with the repeating. Gillian says, I have the chart, not even started it. You're braver than me. I think you need to get it out of the packet then, Gillian. If I can do it, anyone can do it, remember. So like I say, I have been working on it. Are we all proud of me for actually doing this? There's a little portion here that I haven't quite finished. There is a reason, and that is that somehow, I don't know how this happened, I managed to accidentally pull one of the towels out at the back. So I need to get my little snag nabbit to push that back in. And then my plan is that I'm going to push that thread towards the back and then use the last bit of the last strand of this to try and lock it back in at the back is what I'm going to try and do. Because, yeah, that could easily unravel if I don't. Do you carry your threads between your snowflakes? Where's my snowflakes? Where's the snowflakes? Did I carry threads? I don't know. Hold on. Let me have a little look. Do you mean these? Look, I'm going to show you the back, right? So no judging. I'm going to turn it around the other way because it's the only way to show you. Do you mean these like little things? Because if so, yes, I did. I carried the thread there and then went to the next one. Yeah. messy back. Definitely not one of those people that, you know, doesn't have a messy back. But love. It's getting there. It is a slow and steady. I must admit, though, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm getting a bit worried that I committed myself and said I have to have this done by the end of the year. Right, that is what I said. But I'll be honest with you. It's September. It's September, people. I just don't see how this is going to happen. Even if I stitched on this every day, there is still so much stitching to go in this. All of this bit here has not been filled in yet, so that all still needs filling in. This isn't finished, this corner. There's specialty stitches, there's beads. This whole corner's not done. And I've still got everything that needs to go up this side because I haven't completed that. So at the moment, I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea how I'm going to achieve this. I mean, I did sort of say, I did say that actually what I might do is see whether I can get all of the stitching done on this. Let me flick you back over so you can see it. Get all of the stitching done and then go back and do the beads. And I was sort of saying, well, as long as I get all of the stitching done, then as long as that's done by the end of the year, I can worry about the beading afterwards. But I'll be completely honest, I'm not even sure that, excuse me, the bonbons is misbehaving. Bonnie, stop doing that to the bear. You're a girl. She's coming into season, so she's becoming one with the bear. She's having fun, people. She's having fun. But yeah, sorry about that. Slightly distracted. Just aim for it to be done by the Chatelaine retreat, ready for the finishing table. Charlotte, this better be done by then, because yeah, that's 2025, and the plan was to have it done before 2025. If it's not done by then, someone can beat me with a big stick. Did you say the end of which year, though? I did, unfortunately. I did say by the end of this year. I took nearly 30 years to do one project, although I had stopped stitching for a while. Thanks to Teresa, and the Teresa made me do it, so it's now finished. Yay! I wish I had that effect on myself. The post before from me is a compliment and made me realise that how long it takes doesn't matter. You're completely right. It is one of those things where they do take as long as they take, but the fact that this is 8 years work, I'm like, it needs to be done now. It really needs to be done now. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I'm sitting there saying I'm not sure it's doable, but it has been summer. I always stitch less in the summer. In the winter, I do a bit more stitching. So maybe if I just sort of let it go on, you know, the only thing is, though, if I do that, the only thing I'll ever show you will be Evening in the Park. You'll never see another project. What's this? Teresa, are you also seeing the Twitch chat? I am. So, what scroll frame and size do you have on that? Good question. Let me see. I think... Where's my handy dandy... See, I have a new tool right next to me, which is at the moment filled up with stuff, but I'm pretty sure I do have a tape measure in here, so I can measure it for you. She says, aha, I'm good, right? Look at that. Did you see how sharp I am? Let's have a little look. So this is the Millennium frames. Oh, excuse the clicking. Oh, right. So the overall size of the actual scroll bar on this from end to end is 31 inches. But the actual area of stitching that it will hold, I think this is a 20... It's a 27 inch. So this is... I think they class it as not the size from end to end. It's literally the area that the stitching actually, let me show you what I mean. So when we're measuring the scroll bars, someone's asking me what are scroll bars. So the scroll bars is basically the frame that I've got this sat on. So these the two ends, these are the scroll bars. So the ones, the top and bottom, the big long ones are the scroll bars. The ones at the sides here that have got like what actually give you the tension on your stitching, these are your side stretchers. So when people start talking about side stretchers and scroll bars, that's what they're talking about. So these scroll bars from this end to that end will be one measurement. That's the 31 inches. But from where your stitching will sit, so the area of which your stitching will sit into, that is 27 inches. So on a 25 count, I've got it on a 27 inch scroll bar. And then my side stretchers, I always go with the smallest side stretchers, because I tend to find that if you go with the side stretchers that are bigger, because I sit it on a frame, I end up with my hand at the back, because I stitch two-handed. My hand has to go so far down that it pulls on my shoulder. Whereas if you have only a smaller section with these smaller side stretchers, you never have to stretch. Does that make any sense? Your Manelian frame seems a lot more polished or shiny than mine. These are all handmade. So I think because they're handmade, they come, I mean, so that one is a shiny one, as example. And then this side stretcher is not so shiny. This is like more of a matte. I mean, admittedly, I do because this project has been on it for so long, and because, yeah, I'm one of those people, when I do my polishing, I don't actually polish the stitching, but I do dust. I use whatever I polish the woodwork with, I do the frame so that it hasn't got dust on it, because it's probably sat there for too long. It would be cool to see this one every month. You could get some good still shots for a little time lapse of evening in the park. Yeah, the time lapse would be good, but I stitch like time lapse, I think, is the problem. Do you bead as you go along on the scroll bars, or does that break them? No. So basically in the scroll bars, the good thing about the scroll bars is the tension. So what I do, she says, is, let me see if I can show you this. So it's harder than it looks to show. Right, so if I take these tensioners off a minute, I'm going to take my side stretchers off. I'm going to make a whole hot mess of it now. So if I take these off, like so. Oh, like this. You will see that where it rolls up on itself. Now, normally, there we go. I will have some felt in there. So this is just your bog standard fleecy felt stuff. Wherever I've got beads, I will put that over the top of the stitching, and then I roll my fabric down over the top, so that when I tension the bars up lower down, at no point do any beads get squashed, because they've got a bit of puffiness and a bit of protection. Basically like putting your stitching into a duvet is the way I see it. So I'm duveting it, so that way if something sat on something in a duvet or under a duvet, because there's enough puffiness, the chances of you breaking it are much slimmer than if you was to just sit on the item. And this is sort of the same way. Plus, once I've got my beads on there, although I do have a fair amount of tension, I don't have it like super drum tight because of the beads. Does that answer your question? Will scroll bars work on any stand? Not necessarily. So as example, the Omanique stands, yes, because they've actually got clamps that hold on. The needle need stands, yes, because you just flip them over. But there are a lot of stands that they have to have their own bars. So I think, as example, the Mark II, is it the Mark II? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember if it's called the Mark II or the Mark IV, as example. they have their own scroll bars because you have to base the project to some fabric that's attached to the bars, and then that fits in so that you literally just spin your work over. So you would have to, it really depends on what frames you've got. Obviously the needle needs frames have round sections, like side stretchers, which is where your frame would clamp on if it clamps on. The needle needs frame or something similar where it's just arms that sit out that you sort of flip it over on, you could most definitely use these on. Lowry stands, I'm not too sure. I've never tried to use a Lowry. If you did use a Lowry, you would have to have a small project, and you may be able to clip onto the corner, but I'm not 100% if I'm honest. The Omanique, so the difference, have I got, yeah, I've got a set. Hold on, let me show you the difference. Oh, where are we? This is truly live, people, truly live. Okay, so the difference between the Omanique scroll bars and the Maneliums, let me flick you over. So as you can see, this one is the Omanique factory one. It comes with a plastic inner, but it does exactly the same job. The only difference is it takes the corners, I mean, it takes the corners of anything because it's literally, it's got a holder so that the frame fits in. Let me see if I can do an example here. So if I get my evening in the park. Now this scroll bar is an Omanique because it's the round ones, but it fits in there. So you can most definitely have scroll bars that are Omanique, and you can use, scroll bars that are needle needs, but you can use an Omanique side stretcher, which is square. But the difference between the two is that Omanique always has the square, and the needle needs side stretchers are all wood, all manufactured and handmade. These bits don't come out, or actually they come, but they stop. They don't, you can't pull it out. But the entire thing is made of solid wood, whereas the Omanique ones, you've got one fixed end which is metal attached to the wood, and then the plastic one, this one, it's got metal on the top here, but your plastic turner, which is the one that actually gives you your tension, that is made of plastic. I'm not sure. This feels like metal. I'm not sure whether that's... It feels like metal. But this bit here, the actual tensioner is made of plastic, but this is metal. So I don't know if that helps for those of you that were wondering about the difference between the Omanique and the needle needs. There we go, people. Now that I've just completely destroyed Evening in the Park, and it's going to need to be straightened back up on its frames. So Evening in the Park. So for those of you that are wondering about how you can get your hands on the charts and the kit. So the charts are sold by the Chatelaine company on the internet, but the kits, I don't know whether very many people are aware of it, is that when I get my kit, well, when I got my kits, I used the European cross stitch company. I'm not quite sure where they are. I think they might be in the States. It takes a long time for them to source the threads because some of the threads are sort of discontinued and they have to, or they're very hard to get hold of. So when you order it, it's normally really, if you go with the silks, it can be very expensive. You don't have to go with the silks. You can go with DMC alternatives, but it won't look exactly the same. It won't look the same as the picture does. But that's not to say that it won't look lovely, because it can be done. And there's a lot of people that don't use the silks. They use the DMC alternatives. But there are two places that I'm aware of that actually do the full Chatelaine kits. One is the European cross-stitch company. Like I say, it's on the internet. And I think it is from the USA. But also, Zarina at Hawkins Hobbies here in the UK, she also kits up the chatelaines. Although her website doesn't show it, Charlotte, thank you, my lovely. Charlotte's been kind enough to drop the European cross-stitch company's link in the chat for those of you that were thinking about there. But also, Zarina at Hawkins Hobbies here in the UK, although it's not on her website, or at least I haven't found it on her website, she does actually kit up the chatelaines. So if you send her an email, thank you, Charlotte. Charlotte's just put Hawkins Hobbies link in the chat also. If you reach out to Zarina, send her an email telling her what one it is that you're looking for. Zarina can also kit up the chatelaine kits for you. So there's that. Like I said, Evening in the Park has been on the go now for 8 years. That's just me. That's because I'm not a monogamous stitcher by any stretch of the imagination, and this one basically only comes out when I know that, you know, I'm left to my own devices and it's nice and quiet and I can truly concentrate. Annette says, what count linen are you stitching Evening in the Park on? So my Evening in the Park is being stitched on a 25 count. So just as an example, let me find you a bit. Now that I've unraveled it anyway, I might as well show you a bit that's got some beads on it. The thing with some of these projects is that although, yes, they would be smaller if you do them on a higher count, the problem that I find is when it comes to doing the beading, the beads don't sit as nicely as I would like them to. And sometimes people will tell you that sort of anything over 28, between 28 and 32, you're starting to struggle as to whether you're going to fit all of the beads in. So let me just flick you over. So as example, so this whole area here is all beads. Now, had I been working on a 32 count, I might have had to do a bit of jiggery pokery with these beads. 28 count is best for the beads. Yep. 28 count for me is too small for the eyes. You're stitching over 2 on a 28 count. But I tend to find that I like the way my beads sit on a 25 count. I've never had to sort of really squash any beads in. But that's just me personally. But I tend to find that I like it so that my beads have just a little bit of wiggle room, just a little gap in between them. I can't exactly lower the camera to get a bit closer. Maybe one of these days I'll do a close-up and personal with my mobile phone. But I tend to find that I like the spacing on a 25 count. Like, who was it that said? Sonia. Sonia said that 28 count is best for beads. Depends on what design it is and what size beads it is, but she's completely right. 28 count probably is like a perfect fit for most projects that have beads, but I like mine with just a little bit more wiggle room. So mine's a 25 count. Charlotte says 32 count isn't too bad if it's not hand dyed. So yeah, as part of the process of hand dyeing, it shrinks the fabric, which then makes it a bit more tricky. So there we go. So Evening in the Park, right, drum roll please. I can't remember the last time I told you this. Evening in the Park got 7 days worth of stitching in August. Go me. Go me. I feel so excited about the fact that I actually pulled it out and did stitching. But that is all thanks to the lovely Miss Mary Perkins, because she was the one that was just like, just keep stitching it. Keep stitching. Just keep stitching. It was Mary's fault. Mary was the one that sort of made sure that I sat and actually did stitching. What else to tell you? Oh, we've got a whole hot mess to talk about now. A whole hot mess, people. So, as well as having my whips and my FFO, I decided that because I needed a new train project, because this was my train project, which is now done, I needed another train project. And I thought, you know what? There's no time like the present. I might as well start with some of my Christmas stuff. So I decided that it was time to pull out one of my lovely Leela Studios, Noel en Rouge. I was having a little look through. I think the last time, so the last one that I stitched as a present for Christmas, I did this one, the Merry Christmas one. So this time I thought, well, I'll do this one because I quite like the look of that one. Yeah. Yay, new start. I know. There's the problem. Now you're probably looking at that going, Teresa, what's going on with your, what's going on with that? Small error happened here, people. So I started in the middle. Okay, so I started with this one. I did this one and sort of did the trees and the grass here and did a little bit along the bottom here. And then I went across here and then I didn't have this bit in. So I decided that I would go and do the outline, which I did do. So the entire outline, I did all the way across here, all the way down to here. And I got to here and I thought, you know what? Something doesn't look quite right now. I was like, there's something not quite right. Charlotte, you're right. It didn't line up. So what I did was I went over to this bit and started stitching him and then realized that the side of the jumper needs to finish next to his arm there. And there was no way that was going to happen because the arm was sort of here. And I'm like, well, there isn't enough room. So then when I've actually thought, well, okay, well, let me go over this side and I'll stitch across here to work out where this side of the jumper needed to go. And that was when I realised that there was a massive problem. So what I've tried to do, so I basically pulled back all of this sleeve all the way down to here, re-stitched this bit. Now, my original thought was if I carry on stitching up to see where I come to on this bit, and then maybe I can, you know, add and take stitches away that need to come out of there to make it fit. But the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm like, I don't know what I'd do. Yeah, Charlotte said I'd scrap it and restart. You've answered my question already because I'm like, is there a way to fudge this? Is there a way to do it? Because I've already done all this stitching and I'm like, it actually got, so let me tell you. So this is a pain to work on, I'll be honest with you, because this is on a 40 count Newcastle linen, which 40 count for me is a bit hard on the eyes whilst I'm moving on a train. It's in colorway light mocha and it's all the DMC. So I started it on the 18th of August and it had 6 days worth of stitching. All in the mornings, train stitching. Charlotte said would take more time to work it out than restart it. It would go into the naughty corner and stay there for a bit. See, I haven't got time for it to stay in a naughty corner. That's my problem. That is my dilemma. Because at first I was like, well, maybe if there is a way of fudging it or sort of fixing it, even if I don't give it as a gift and I start a new one for a gift, I could fudge this one enough to make it work for me. And then I would have a Christmas finish. But the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, I don't think there's any way. Without taking all of this out. Who's just said that? Just take out the brown. The middle should be okay. The problem is, because it's on a 40 count, it's really hard to undo it. Yeah, so many people are saying restart. Restart, then at a later date, go back and complete it for yourself. Send it to me and I'll fix it. Do you think you can fix this? Choose easier fabric and start again. Rosa, I can't because I'd done a set of these for the people that I'm actually stitching another set for in this fabric, and I want them to match the ones that I've already done for them. So I don't think there's any way around it. Is 40 count like bigger holes or is it the opposite way round? So it's the opposite way round. So the higher the count, the smaller the size, or the smaller the squares. So basically if you stitch on a 25 count as example, the stitches will be bigger. The jumper would then be a lot bigger. But going on a higher count, even though I'm stitching over 2, the higher the count, the smaller the stitches are. So it makes it look more delicate and makes it shrinks the overall size of the project. But as you can see, yeah, we've got a whole hot mess going on. So I'm a bit like, I don't really know what to do with this now. Now that you've all said that, and I mean, yeah, I can't even get to straighten up when I go like this because it's so wonky. I might have to bite the bullet here. I mean, as example, if you look at the back, I mean, the stitches, I mean, this side not too bad. This side, terrible to try and pull out. I did think about getting a seam ripper out, but then I was like, do you know what? I'll probably end up putting a hole in it with the seam ripper if I do that. So, yeah. I was rather hoping that someone would come up with a really exciting, cunning plan of how to fix this, other than pull all of the brown out, because that took a lot of stitching, that bit across there. That was actual hard stitching on the train, that. So do all you lovelies typically stitch with one strand on 40 count over 2? I've been doing some test stitching and 2 strands looks a little puffy. So I'm not using 2 strands. This is single strand. So this is one strand of DMC over 2 fabric threads. So I'm still stitching it over 2, but with one strand, because it makes it look a little bit more delicate. Yes, I've got a fair bit of free time to do it slow enough to not ruin the 40 count. Liz says, I don't think it's fudgeable. The middle figure doesn't center up with the center of the banner. What, at the top, you mean? The top of the jumper? That was exactly what I was thinking. So, yeah, I think it's going to have to be started again, isn't it? See, I knew this was going to happen. I was so excited because I was going to be like, do you know what, guys? I've nearly finished. I've nearly, I've got a new start and I've nearly finished it. And now I've got to stitch it all over again. It's a horrible thought. It's a horrible thought. Although, I might take you up on your offer. Because if I send it to you and you pull that bit back out, at least I can use the middle bit for me. And I've got it halfway done for me. Thank you, my lovely. Someone said they like my nails. I went a bit... It wasn't the original intention, but the guy that did my nails just sort of decided that was what he was doing. So I rolled with that. So there you go. So that is my whole new start, which is a complete failure and a total hot mess. So yeah, welcome to the Teresa world. What else to tell you? Whip Go. So I was going to show you my Whip Go. So let me pull up Whip Go. So Whip Go current month. So August month was the number 12 and the number 15. So the number 12 was 5 days on an Afghan, and number 12 was 1 day of organising. The 1 day of organising I did actually manage to do because Mary was coming, so the room needed tidying up and cleaning. So I did all of that and put some stuff away. So thanks to Mary coming, I actually managed to get some bits and pieces done and tick off my Whip Go. The other one, so the Afghan, I would say that was partially completed because I did do 4 of the 5 days on the Afghan. So what I've decided to do is roll 1 day, the 1 day that I didn't get done. And the only reason I didn't get it done was because Mary made me work on Evening in the Park. So I'm just going to add 1 more day to the Afghan for this month, and that will make it so that I've completed August goals on the Whip Go. Next month, so this month, so for the month of September, we got the number 4 and the number 11, which, believe it or not, was 2 days on the Afghan. So I'll just add an extra day for the 1 day of August that I didn't get done. That will complete that. And would you believe it, 4 days on Evening in the Park. It was like the stars are aligned. Let me show you my Whip Go. So let me share with you. So this is my Whip Go. So you can see on there so I've done my organising, so number 15. And what was the other one? August. Where's August gone? I can't see. Oh, there it is. The Afghan. So the 5 days. So at the moment I've said no, but once I do one more day on the Afghan, which I think I'm going to do on the live stream tomorrow. I think that'll be Afghan day tomorrow on the live stream. So then I can mark this block off for August. And September, 2 days on an Afghan. And the other September was 11, which is 4 days on a Chatelaine. See, people? See, people? It's working. That the whip go is working for me. So that's the whip go. So the whip go I'm sort of on time with and keeping up, which, do you know what? This is the first time that I've got this far into the year and I've managed to sort of stay with it. I think the only thing that I haven't done, so what have I got? I've still got, so from back in April when I went away to Italy, I've still got 5 days outstanding on a full coverage, which I still need to do, which I'm gonna do, but I've always sort of said, well, in the winter I tend to lean more towards my full coverage because I'm all curled up on the sofa. So I'm rather hoping that I'll be able to pull that back throughout the course of probably October, November and December, January. Yeah, it needs to be done by the end of the year. So I need to add 5 days of full coverage. And to be honest, I've been really neglecting my full coverages. How are you getting on with your alternative reality? Yeah, big fat 0 at the moment. None of my full coverages have been coming out because I've just been going to quick and easy go-to stitching. Speedy X Stitch, this is the first time I'm still up to date with Whip Go 2. Michelle says, have you finished Halloween Quaker? No, I barely touched Halloween Quaker. That's another thing. I mean, this is it. Although I've seemed to have done more stitching this summer than I ever have in recent years, I've still gone to like what I call smaller, easier projects rather than the bigger things. But I'm sure all of those will come out at some point. Charlotte says, you're two are behaving tonight. What, you mean the girls? The girls are both basically in season. Honey's being super clean. That's all she does is clean herself. But she's no bother. Bonbons, on the other hand, yeah, enough said there. Bonbons is bonbons. Right, what else have we got? What else have I got to talk to you about? I might have got myself a little bit of haul, people. Just a little bit. Oh, hold up. Gillian just said, oh, Teresa, can I ask, where did you get your new sofas from in UK? I'm wanting new sofas, but it's trusting the big companies on quality. So I went Sofology for mine. I find that them to be really, really good. The last 2 sets of sofas that I've had from Sofology here in the UK. Love Sofology. So a little bit of haul, people. A little bit of haul. So I might have fell down a little rabbit hole when I saw the 12 Days of Christmas stockings by Annie B's folk art. This one. So I couldn't help myself. I decided to buy it. But I've made the decision that I'm not gonna stitch it on a dark fabric like this. I'm gonna stitch them on like a really dark natural, like a dirty linen colour. And then if I need to, I'll tweak the colours of the threads to make it work. But yeah, I think Lynn from the Lancashire Stitcher, I think she's stitching these, but I think she's doing them on the dark colour, on the black. So love, love, love. So I've got myself this in the hope that I would have a bit more time for Christmas finishes or Christmas stitching, because I thought this was going to be a breeze and it's not. So yeah, a little bit of a waste of time there. What else to share with you? Right, so whilst Mary was here, would you believe it? The one time that I had someone coming over to stay, my Daylight Company floor lamp stopped working. I know, it stopped working. So I did nothing more than went back to the Daylight Company and ordered a new floor stand. But I didn't order the same one I had last time because they've got a new one called the Electra floor stand. And And I was a bit like, well, I don't know whether it's anything like the other one, but I'm like, well, I'll get it. If I don't like it, I'll send it back. Do you know what? It's much more superior. Now, just a FYI, so the Daylight Company, I saw it on there for £130. And I was like, that's a lot of money for a floor stand. So I said to Mary, look at the discount. See if you can find me a discount code. So she found me a discount code. I got it for about £100. However, as part of my search to show you the stand that I'm referring to, I found the same stand at another company called Hammer UK that are doing it for £95.26 including VAT. So let me share with you on my screen. So this is the Daylight lamp. And this one is different to the one that I had. I had the old version, the silver one. This one comes in a satin black finish, which matches my furniture in my living room fabulously. It also comes in 3 colour temperatures, ranging from the 6K, the 4K and the 2.7K. They're all different temperatures. So therefore you've got a warm light, you've got a cool light, and you've got what's known as a daylight light. It comes with a slim design with rotating shade. Now this is the bit that I really like. So see this bit here, along there? That can be moved backwards and forwards. And the other one, I could move the light. But if I moved the light so that it wasn't shining in my eyes, my husband was forever going to me, will you stop shining your light in my eyes? Because as soon as you do this, it sort of basically points the light towards anyone else in the room. And he found that really annoying and really, yeah, he hated it when I put my light on. So this one, when you move this, it moves like a blind. It's almost like blind, so that it stops it from glaring out across the room, which is, yeah, it's a deal breaker. This is the turny and turny offy bit here. And also it's dimmable. So you can rotate that round backwards and forwards and it goes lighter and darker. So I was just like, it is a much more superior light, I must admit. There's some pictures of like how it bends. It bends here and it bends at the top. So it's super universal as well. But yeah, you know when it's just like, I love it. I love my new little light. Where am I? There I am. So I'm loving my new little purchase of my light. I got my mag light from them, which is a Daylight company. Great company and fast delivery too. Yep. I love that. But I have to have a floor stand because anything that clips onto frames, I've got so many floor stands now. I think it's just started raining. Sorry. I've got so many floor stands that there's certain floor stands that the clips with the lights that clip onto it don't work as well for me. I like to have the light directly over the top, but not attached to anything. Do you use a small clip light when you are traveling? So yeah, when I'm going to retreats, I'll use a clip light. But when I'm at home, I do like my full floor stand. So I purchased one of those. Also, I don't even know where I saw it, but I was watching some Flosstube videos and people were sort of saying about how they have their storage for different things in different rooms. So I don't often sit and stitch in here, but I can do. I probably should do. I'd get probably more stitching done if I sat here and watched this TV instead of sitting in the living room and being distracted. But I do a bit of stitching here if I'm sitting in the office and I'm working or I'm doing bits and pieces. But the problem is I tend to have like all of my accessories. I've got like these little, where are they? Little notions bags that have got like, they're sort of fully armed, you know, a pair of scissors, snag nabbit, a pen, extra needles, you know. I have it in here. But how many times do you go and sit in your stitchy spot in your living room or wherever, like me? All of my actual stitching gets housed here in my office, in my stitchy room. But I more often than not find that I'm stitching in the living room. The amount of times that I think I've got everything I need, I go into sort of sit in the living room with my stitching and then realise actually, you know, you just get the dog settled and I put my feet up and I pull my stitching in. I'll do like one thread of something and I'm like, where's my scissors? And then my scissors are in the bag that I've been good enough to put away, because being as organized as that sometimes has its own issues. So normally then I'm like, oh, the thought of having to get back off the sofa, move the stand out the way, disturb the girls, I'm like, you know what, just don't bother, I'll just sit and watch TV. So I made the decision after watching some Flosstube videos where people are like, oh, I've got, you know, a place where I have all of my stitching stuff in this room and then I've got it in that room. But I'm like, my husband would go mad if I had much more stuff in the living room. It's bad enough with the stand. So I now have trolleys. So I've got a trolley here. So this one is from, which one was this one? This was my IKEA one. And I've got it color coded for my room because obviously I've got like yellows and stuff. But this has got like a little horse catcher in there. It's got one of these baggies in there. It's got other bits and pieces in there. It's got a tray in there. It's got beading stuff in there. So I've got everything in this one. And obviously my needle minder is attached to it because this one is a metal one. And these, which are they're the things that I've been using to hold my fabric on around my Q-snaps and stuff. So I bought myself this one for in here. And then what I've done is I've doubled up. So I've got this one in here and then the one that I've got in my living room, so that it wasn't such an eyesore, because that's fine in here, but I wouldn't want one of those in my living room, especially like when I've got visitors coming to stay. So the one that I have got is this one in my living room, which sort of matches my furniture. Not exactly, but sort of close. And it's basically a very similar setup. So in this one that I've got in the living room, it's got the same metal, like the black metal, which most of my furniture's got. And I've got all oak furniture. So this works perfectly for my living room setup. So in the living room, I've got exactly the same thing. So I've got needle minders, I've got my little pouches. So that way, wherever I'm sat and I'm stitching, I have something. Because it was getting to the point that I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere with this, because every time I sit my butt down, everything's been put away because I've been super tidy. I love the wood effect. I know. I saw it and was just like, for £45, that's a bargain. And I was like, and that way, all of my stitching is right next to me when I'm sitting there stitching. If I decide to go to the other end of the sofa, not that I would, but if I did decide to go to the other end of the sofa, I can get to it. I don't really like cupboards that much, because you tend to find that if you put it in a cupboard, you've still got to get up off your seat and go to the cupboard to go and get whatever it is that you need out of it and sort of rummage through. Whereas with these, you don't need to do that. I can sort of have everything to hand whilst I'm still sat on the sofa. So I've now got 2 of those in the hope that it will make it so that as long as I don't sort of tidy them up too much and I just sort of keep a bit of everything in both of them, no matter where I'm sitting and stitching, I will get lots done. That's where I went with it. What else to tell you? So there you go. I think that is it for the haul. I think we're hauled out now. So random acts of kindness that I've got. Let me just see if I can get this to work. Hold up. So my random acts of kindness. Why is it not working now? Hold on, people. Oh God. Streamlabs. Where are we? There we are. I thought I'd stopped me then. I thought we'd stopped me. Right. Do you know what? I've just realised something. You're all going to absolutely fall about laughing now. Where's my... Okay, the chat's still moving, but mine's not. Why is my chat not moving? Oh, it's like on a mad mission. Such a good idea. Could even roll it outside to stitch on the back. I know. Right. There is one small error that I've made whilst I've been doing this live, saying that I'm going to post this as a post video. Charlotte's just worked out what it is. I didn't hit record. I was so excited to make sure that I got everything done and that I told you what I was doing. I didn't hit the record button. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no. Yes, Kerry. Oh no. That's oh God. I think I'm gonna have to reach out to Lauren now and work out what we do. I don't know whether there's a way for me to record this and then edit. No, I don't think I can. Recording, question mark, not recording, that is the question. I didn't press record. Oh well, do you know what? If the best of it is that you lot all got my monthly update, then yeah, at least someone saw it. It might, you're a selected number of people that get to see the August update that nobody else gets to see. See. And Zoe said we had to sit through 3 intros and they weren't even recorded. I know. Welcome to my world. Right, where was we? The random acts of kindness. Let's get back to the stuff, shall we? I'm not even going to worry about the fact that I haven't pressed the record button. That's just too funny now because, yeah. Let me share with you. So I have got from the lovely Yasmin. She has gifted me. Well, I say gifted. She basically sends me stuff that she doesn't want, and then she says to me, have out of it what you want, and if there isn't something there that you want, then by all means give it away. So I'd already given some of the charts away, and she has given these away. Would you look at these? Look at these. I mean, I know I don't use bobbins, but this is the only one that I'm not sure what to do with, because it's almost like it is brand new. It looks like it's never been used. I mean, it's got the vinyl, it's got a pocket, and then it's got sort of the one that you put the bobbins in, but none of it's been used. So I didn't know whether I could get away with taking it to the retreat and putting it onto the raffle table as a giveaway, because it's so lovely, but I just don't see myself using it because it's got the bobbin thing on it. I think that's what I might have to do, because I'm not going to use this one. But it's never been used. You can see it's never been used. But she also gave me, I mean, there's so many of them. It's laughable. So I've got this one, which is right up my street, because it's got the 2 pockets on the inside and then 2 zipped vinyl pockets. These are handmade by Susie. So these are the ones that I get off Susie anyway. But yeah, love. And a lot of people will sit there and say to me, is there a reason that I don't do these, or why I haven't gifted these on the giveaway? The reason for it is these are harder to ship. I actually sent the rest of the giveaway charts in envelopes off to, I think there was quite a few people in Canada. There was a couple in the UK. I kid you not. The postage just for the ones that I've already sent came to nearly £40 just to post charts. So you can imagine how much it would cost to post one of these out to people. Then I've got this one. This one is handmade by Ladybird. This one's slightly different. It's got it's got a little vinyl pouch here. This looks like an Alice in Wonderland fabric. So it's got a vinyl pouch there, another vinyl pouch there, and then another pocket there, and then this side has got like netting. So it's got like a netted pocket here, and then smaller pockets here and here. So, but these are the sorts of things that are great for me for my stitching, because these are the sorts of things that I use. Then there's another one with I think that's still Alice in Wonderland. This one is a Susie bag. So again, it's got the 2 big pockets on the inside and then the 2 vinyl front pockets here. Oh my God, this one's the best. My mum's watching on her laptop. Oh, these will be there next weekend. Well, that one with the bobbin, I think I might do it as one of the raffle prizes, because you can see it's never been used. And then I've just got some normal big bags. But yeah, so I would say out of all of those, I think all of these I will keep for me, because I will use these. These will get lots of love and lots of use, because I love the fact that I can get pretty much all of my projects in there. So I can get the chart in there, I can get my threads in there, I can get my stitching in there without actually having to have like what I call the proper bags, which actually take up more space for me. I quite like these wallet type things. But that one there, this one I think is the one that I might use in the raffle at the retreat. And if it wasn't for a case that the actual postage wasn't so extortionate, I probably would have done a giveaway on the channel for this. But because of a lot of people that actually watch the channel that enter the giveaways, I would never sit there and say, I'm sorry, I'm only going to do giveaways for people in the UK. I don't think that's fair. Anyone that watches my channel should be in with a chance of winning something, not based on your location. But obviously for me to try and ship this with the weight that it is, it would just be, I mean, like I say, I mean, the postage for the other charts has cost me over £40. So yeah, I wouldn't even like to imagine how much it would cost me to post one of these out. Mum wants to win that one next weekend. Well, you've got to be in it to win it, people. You've got to be in it to win it. What else have I got to tell you? So let me just refer back to my notes. I mean, not that it matters now, because the chances of this video actually going up, other than what you're seeing, is looking slimmer and slimmer by the minute. What else to tell you? Oh, also, one of the lovely retreat friends, there was a post that we put on the Essex Needles retreat page saying, you know, it's hard work to do the retreats. Both me and Elaine decided, instead of doing all of the retreats the way we was only going to do 2 retreats a year, one in March and one in September, with an explanation as to why. And the lovely individual done some lovely gifts. She decided that she wanted to surprise us. It was a true surprise, I must admit. Let me pull it up for you. Where's my PDFs? PDF charts, Hade. So she done a gift which went into the Essex Needles retreat inbox to say, here's a Hade voucher for you to spend at your leisure. So of course Elaine and I got one each. So my ones of choice, let me share with you my screen. I decided to go with this one. I thought there's no point in me getting another big full coverage, because I'm never ever gonna get to stitching all of the full coverages I've got now. But I'm like, if it was a bit smaller, maybe it's a bit more doable. So I was thinking, if I do ornaments, so I've got the Donna Gelsinger Christmas ornament sleigh ride. I mean, literally, you can see there, it's 9 by 9 inches on 25 count. And the other one was this one. I've seen this one stitched up. It's adorable, and I'm like, I'd love that. I love that one. So that's the Donna Gelsinger ornament, the Enchanted Christmas. And again, that one's a 9 by 9 on a 25 count, which to me seems much more doable and realistic, because yeah, the chances of me doing much more on the full coverages with the ones that I've already got, I'm going to be hard pushed. Just read, you can do download VODs through Creator Studio. Oh, I'll have to have a little look at that, Charlotte. You might have to explain it to me offline, so you might be able to rescue your live. Something's got to rescue me, because I'm not doing very well so far. I'm really not. What else to tell you all? So I spoke about the haul. I spoke about the random acts of kindness. So, September. September's going to be big, people. So, not only have I managed to get a few live streams just recently, I'll be honest, I'll probably get this one in and the one tomorrow without a problem. But then after that, for the rest of the month, I'm not sure you're going to see me. Only because I've got a very busy September. It's my birthday month. So I'm going to use that as the excuse. It's my birthday month. Obviously, this weekend is busy doing lives and busy supposedly doing Flosstube, but we'll see about that. Next weekend, I am at the Essex Needles retreat from Friday to Sunday, so I definitely won't be able to do it there. I am going to try and record some of the stitching in the room if I find time, but the problem with the Essex Needles retreat is because both me and Elaine are the ones that are organising it, we sort of get caught up with sort of the looking after stuff and running stuff. There really isn't that much time to do much stitching, let alone actually recording in the room along with all the other stuff that we do. But I will try. I will see how I get on. So that takes care of next weekend. And then because it's my birthday, there was an impromptu decision that me and my husband are now going to be going off to Spain for 5 days. We booked a villa on Airbnb, flights, a car. Fabulous looking villa. The villa is amazing. It's spectacular. It's a huge, great villa. And I couldn't believe the cost. I was like, no way is it that cheap. But because it was, I'm like, then we're doing it. So I'm swanning off to Spain from the 28th of September through to, I think it's the 3rd or the 4th of October. So I won't be here for that weekend either. So unlikely to get really much done either stitchy wise. I certainly won't be doing any streams or any videos, but I will be having a wonderful September. So yeah, that September took care of. And then everything should really settle down after that. Bet Lolly will be able to show you. I just logged it. Maybe look for a YouTube that can explain it. I'll have a little look, Charlotte. Thank you. Teresa, can you do a video about how you started and organised? How I started and organised what? What is it that you want to know? Oh, how I started and organised my evening in the park. I sure can. But probably I would do that as part of a new kitted up version. When evening in the park is done, I do have another full coverage, another Chatelaine waiting in the wings, waiting to be started. So maybe as part of my starting that, I could pull together a video to show you how I approach mine. But yeah, there's a certain way that I do it. Oh, hello. Hubby has decided that it is officially tipple o'clock, people. And we thought we was going to get away with not having tipples. We're having tipples on Saturday night. Charlotte's saying which one? Well, I've got more than one. I've got, she says, I've got more than one. Which ones? Which ones have I got? I've got Sleeping Beauty, the Sleeping Beauty one. And I've also got Frosty Knot Garden. So the Frosty Knot Garden, I've done the very centre. So I could actually use Frosty Knot Garden. Sleeping Beauty is another huge, great monster. It's almost, I think it's probably as big, if not bigger, than Evening in the Park. So, yeah, I think that one's going to wait on the back burner. And I think we'll go with, Frosty Knot Garden. Charlotte said he's not being told off this time for coming in. No, because he came in with, you know, I'm really parched. I've done a lot of talking, people. A lot of talking. Grace says, what's my poison? So this is passion fruit martini. Jen says that's not a glass, it's a bowl. Yeah, but it's got lots of ice in it. So that's my excuse. Donna Marie said, it's my birthday tomorrow, so So can I come away with you too? I'm afraid there's no room in my suitcase, Donna Marie, but can we get some love in the chat for Donna Marie? Happy birthday, Donna Marie, for tomorrow. Right, what else to tell you? So yeah, Essex Needles Retreat next weekend. Super excited about that. September is going to be a busy, busy month. There isn't, other than working, there aren't any days that I'm not busy doing stuff. It's my birthday, so yeah, I'm like, well, we won't get away on my birthday, but by the end of that week, I'll get away and I'll get to go and hopefully, providing the weather is like it is in Spain now, I'm really looking forward to having a nice little relax with my own private pool in my own private villa, with my own private bit of sun is my thoughts on that. Oh, and one other thing that's super exciting that I nearly failed to tell you. So you remember I said that I'd gone and organised for some new dance dresses. I went for the fitting last month and they will be ready, and I'm collecting those on the 22nd of September. So on 22nd of September, I'm going down to the south of the country to go and pick up a new ballroom dress that's been made specifically for me, and a new Latin dress as well. So you know when it's like, yay! And it's the day before my birthday, so it's even better. You should ask Karen about the tipple she likes. Tell her Stacey said that this is. Tell her Tracy said it is chocolate. Oh, have you been on Karen's stream then? Okay, I don't know what tipple she likes. I'll have to have a look. Right, people. I think we got to the end of what was supposed to have been a video. It was done in a completely different way, admittedly. Completely different way. And I think it's actually took me longer to do it on a live. Well, in fact, it has. Because I said we'd only be here for about an hour and a half max. And here we are at nearly 2 hours. But I did get to answer some questions. So I do hope that I've managed to answer some questions that people had. I thank you all for your input on my disaster hot mess. I do appreciate all of your love and all of your help for that, because I was thinking that I could sit there and fudge it, but I think you've proven the point that the whole fudging thing is just not going to happen. I think I was sort of clutching at straws there, because, well, I think you have to, right? You have to have a bit of clutching at straws every once in a while. I love this. Giggled the whole way through. Thank you so much. I wish I could see it. I'll bet it's so much fun. Oh no, at the retreat, and it is good. Right, I'll have to see what happens at the retreat. I am really looking forward to the retreat, but for me and for Elaine, the retreats are not really. They're not like us go into a retreat, because it's us that have to make sure everything's happening the way it is and organise the bits and pieces and make sure everyone's catered for. It's not that it's hard. Well, say it's hard. It is hard work. But it's. I mean, it's lovely to see all the people, but there's a lot more to it. And you tend to find that when you're doing the retreats, it's all the prep work that's took place before you're going. It's, you know, it's all of that is sort of going on behind the scenes that people don't see. So there's a lot of hard work that go into sort of organising retreats, and until you do it for yourself, you don't realise how much goes into it. Yeah, Charlotte runs the Chatelaine retreat, so yeah, little plug here. So we all love our Chatelaines, and Charlotte is the runner, or one of the runners. Charlotte, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, of the Chatelaine retreat at Crewe. She's just announced, for those that have got the list for the 2025 Chatelaine retreat. But yeah, she has some insight of what it's actually like to run retreats, and there's a lot of work that goes into organising them, and it's not just for the weekend that you're there, it's all the stuff that happens before you actually go on the retreats. There's a lot to it. And like Charlotte says, you're running around like a headless chicken. And yeah, that's me. But then I run around like a headless chicken most of the time, retreat or no retreat. Anita said, sorry, but this is one of the funniest live streams ever. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Not sorry. Well, look, as long as I have, you know, as long as I have made people laugh, I've made myself laugh, that's for sure, because yeah, it didn't quite go according to plan even for me. But then there's nothing new there. But yeah, I've had a wonderful evening. I might not end up with a Flosstube update on the actual video channel. But I've definitely shared with you what I've got up to in August, and I've had an absolute blast. You've all made me laugh, even if some of it was at my expense. In fact, most of it was my expense, but I'm fine with that. I'm all cool with that. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day because I'm going to be back tomorrow for the actual Stitchy live, so I can actually sit here and do some stitching and chat with you. So I'm not going to hold you up any further. We've had another 2-hour stream today, so you've just got 2 lots of Teresa in one weekend. What can I say? But yeah, thank you so much. Huge load of love for Charlotte, please, in the chat for being the mod of the evening. She was the only mod that we had this evening because it was such an impromptu live. So Charlotte, do really appreciate all your help, my lovely, when you come onto the chat and answer all the questions and put all my links and point me in the right direction. Yeah, what would we do without Charlotte, right? Charlotte deserves a round of applause. Don't worry, Charlotte. Next time I see you, I'll make sure to bring a passion fruit martini tipple for you. Yeah, see all the love in the chat for everyone. And Charlotte, yeah, thank you so much. I do really appreciate all your help because it would be much harder without you. And on that note, my lovelies, I'm going to head off. I think it's time to call it. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And for those that are around tomorrow that are down for a bit of a stitchy live chat, I'll be back online tomorrow with you, 7 p.m. UK time tomorrow for a stitch with me. So until then, my lovelies, have a lovely evening and I will see you all very, very soon.